Hello, and welcome back to Disillusioned Plays Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations. We're back for another episode, guys. We made it through the first one, so let's just introduce ourselves again.
I was going to say, who are we?
I was getting round to it. Patience, young Padawan. My name's Sarah.
I'm Pete.
I'm Taylor.
And on the last episode, we left you with the judge wondering just what was the murder weapon. Well, we're about to find out.
Even though it can clearly be seen dangling from the sky in the photograph, but I guess we'll ignore that one.
Spoilers!
Obviously, his jacket was too tight and it suffocated him.
Or no, it was the Union Jack. He
sorry,
suffocated
of course.
under the weight of his own
he was a very patriotic British
nationalism.
man. So, on that note, guys, let's
jump back
start. Oh, here he is.
Here we go. I don't believe the murder weapon has been produced yet, correct?
Well, that is, You are correct, Your Honor.
So how exactly was Mr. Swallow killed?
I forgot his name was Doug Swallow. Sorry.
Family friendly.
I'm sorry. It just... Oh, dear.
Now, I was restraining myself, but then you started giggling.
I just can't help it. I'm a child at heart.
See, and he says we're the bad ones, Taylor. I mean, clearly, Pete is the bad influencer here.
Stop bullying me.
Hey, you bullied me last week.
Whoa.
It's your turn.
That is
Your
true.
Come on, Mia.
All right. If I could somehow establish how it was done, maybe I could still come out on this mess. Sorry, start again. Maybe I could still come out of this mess smelling like a rose.
So, guys, do you
That's,
think... Do you think we
interesting...
Should we actually establish the murder method, or should we... She just can't right now.
I can't even right now.
She just can't
I mean,
even
it's
right
just
now.
too much.
I just cannot even. I just cannot even. I feel like, I mean, we can just point to the picture, right? Surely.
I
mean,
would have thought so.
You would think so.
I mean...
No, yeah, it's obviously Cold Killer.
It was
Oh,
the
yeah.
Cold Killer
X.
X.
He's remembered. I mean, it's right there. I mean, come
Oh,
on.
I mean, yeah, you know, the still, not just the power line, the still sparking power
Yes.
line, may I add.
Yeah. I mean, I think it could be the broken umbrella.
But well, it has got a bend in it. I mean, somebody could have bludgeoned him over the head.
Yeah, maybe. Right, let's do it. Let's establish the murder method.
Your Honor.
Mia, that is weak. That is such a weak desk slam.
Yes, Miss Faye?
I believe that if we were to piece together everything we've heard up until just now, we should be able to solve the mystery of how Mr. Swallow died.
Smug face.
Smug.
That would be most impressive.
There it is.
Quite the brash statement coming from a rookie. But even a beginner like you must understand the basic rules of the court, yes? An attorney must be able to substantiate their arguments with evidence.
Of course I know that. Actually, I had totally forgotten about that.
Mia, this is your job. That's like being a police officer and being like, oh, I forgot me car at home today. I suppose I'll just walk.
Maybe there might be an officer on the beat. Anyway. Now then, Miss Faye, let's see what you've got.
Oh, now.
Show me how you believe the victim was electrocuted. I mean, we're
really
obviously...
kind of just throwing you a softball with this one, I guess.
As for the cause of death, I say this picture captures it quite well.
What? But there's nothing that even remotely resembles a murder weapon here.
Put your glasses on, Judge.
Yeah, but you've got to remember that,
Oh
like...
dear, I've left my spectacles out in the car. Oh well, I'll manage without for the day.
I never did graduate from kindergarten. I'm afraid that the defense is going to have to explain this in a bit more detail. Miss Faye, where exactly in this photo is the murder weapon? Oh, I don't know, guys.
Are we ready for a pathetic take that or something?
Where is it? Oh,
It was the message board.
Yeah,
Just
could
like
be.
an Animal Crossing.
Could be. I mean, too many Tom Nook message notifications. So,
You broke your ass.
take that.
Oh god. So bad. Well, naturally, it's right here.
That's. What is that?
Oh dear.
It appears to be some kind of black snake dangling from the
Sky.
A severed electrical cable, I believe, Your Honour. Remember the testimony we've heard? Sorry. I can't read today.
The machinations of the farmer Diddly Doodles.
Yes, that. The machines the pharmacology students use in their experiments require high voltage. And because of that, there are special high voltage cables strung up everywhere.
So then, the high voltage cable.
Yes, the high voltage cable is the cause of death.
Dun dun dun.
That is the most likely explanation.
She really does have a smug expression, doesn't she? I
She
see where
does.
Phoenix gets it from.
That certainly sounds plausible. Well, Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this?
Electricity is a myth, Your Honor.
I still live on
Can you
candlelight.
prove electricity is a thing? I mean, what even is electricity? Well, I believe some praise is in order. Doing, doing.
Don't toy with me, old man.
Whoa now! I mean, now, the victim's cause of death may indeed have been a high voltage cable. However, I want you to think about what that really implies.
It's like, you know those little kickstand spring things that, like, when you're a kid, you kind of just smack them back and forth, and they made like the doing
like a door
doing.
stop.
That's what I'm imagining the sound is
Yeah.
whenever he's like playing with his pompadour there. Badoing.
Like a ruler off
The
the edge of a
only
desk.
one who had the
Yes.
opportunity.
Sorry.
The only one who had the opportunity to use the cable as a murder weapon was the defendant.
Actually, I think you'll find the defendant.
That much is certainly true.
Yes, and that's not all. We have proof. Irrefutable proof that will establish that Mr. Wright was the murderer.
You do? Well, what is it?
Observe this carefully drawn crayon picture where I show that Mr. Wright is holding the electrical cable against the victim. His fingerprints.
And also,
Now Mia's
his
gonna be like, "What
fingerprints.
fingerprints? What are fingerprints?
what are fingers?
What are fingers?"
What are these things?
Oh,
We
for
ended
God's
by-
sake,
Oh,
no.
I'm sorry. It was the judge.
Oh,
the
God,
judge
it
wasn't me.
Fingerprints?
It wasn't Mia, it was the judge.
Yes, I'll
What
have
is
to
a fi-
have
what
an
is a
intelligent
fingerprint?
woman.
Fingerprints?
Oh, good lord.
Fingerprints? You mean the defendant's fingerprints were on something besides the medicine bottle?
Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. The crime scene photo. As you can see, the victim is wearing a leather jacket. And as you may know, leather holds fingerprints quite well.
I didn't know that, but okay.
You mean...
Yes, it was quite clearly imprinted on the chest area of the victim's jacket. The palm print of the defendant's very own hand.
What? What? Oh, sorry, let me try that. I probably peaked there. What?
I can only think of one way Mr. Wright could have left a print like that.
Yes, Payne, because there is absolutely no feasible reason why someone would possibly have their hand on the jacket of another person except to push them into a down power line. That's what I always say. Don't ever let anyone hug you, because if they do, they're trying to murder you.
Yep, I mean, they
That's
could
the
have
lesson for today, everyone.
They could have just been sharing an innocently intense moment together.
I mean, I don't think so. This
Whoa
game's
now,
like
pal.
15 years, like 10, 15 years old. Like, there's no way that there's any sort of like
They
homosexuality.
don't
in it.
discriminate.
No, like it might be 2020 now.
Intense on
It wasn't.
Intent on murder, he squarely pushed the victim towards the severed electrical cable.
Uh-oh.
Blah, 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 blah.
Order, order, order! That's enough. I think we can conclude that there is no reason to continue with this cross-examination.
Oh, stuck a fork in us. We're done.
Mr. Grossberg?
Oh, my hemorrhoids never lie.
Ew.
The show is over, Mia. I
Do
knew
they
that.
do they think that's like what? Do they think that's like what American people do or something? It's
you
like
say-
we just
wait.
we listen to our
Hold-
hemorrhoids.
hold
It's
on,
like listening
hold
to the
on,
gut.
hold on. Whoa. You mean you Americans don't listen to your
No,
hemorrhoids?
I'm afraid not.
What?
We have low fiber diets, but I don't think we actually listen to hemorrhoids.
It's like, welcome to the let's see how many people we can offend video. So, I knew that boy was guilty the first time I saw him.
No, you're wrong. Mr. Wright is innocent.
No further evidence is required to convince me of this man's guilt.
Your Honor.
At this time, I am prepared to render a verdict in this case.
Well, guys, we've already lost it.
Do you have something further to add, Ms. Fay?
Is this what you want, Mr. Wright?
Huh?
You still haven't told us the truth. The whole truth.
And nothing but.
The truth. If you don't say something now, the judge is going to hand down his verdict.
But I can't. I just can't say it. If I told you what really happened, then I'd be...
It's okay, Mr. Wright. I'm your attorney. You can trust me.
And all the members of the jury.
I will point out, we're in the middle of an open courtroom. It's not like there's really a secretive aspect to it.
Don't worry, you can trust me too. Please, tell me your secrets.
Yeah, I'm listening too.
Don't mind me. Oh, blah, 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 blah.
I already am convinced you are guilty, but I suppose I shall listen to you briefly, if only to give the appearance of impartiality.
But my hemorrhoids are telling me otherwise.
My hemorrhoids are
But my
convinced-
hemorrhoids are going wild right now, let me tell you.
Gross.
I should probably see a doctor, but I can at least rationalize the condition as being a lie detector.
Oh god, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it, if that was how you did a lie detector test? Ew.
Worst superpower ever. Worst superpower ever. All right. Miss Fay.
No matter what it is you... I cannot talk today. No matter what it is you have to say, I believe in you, and I'll represent you to the very end.
Oh, me too.
Shut up, you.
Which, at the rate this case is going, will be within the next 2 minutes or so.
Oh. I love that sound.
We've already established the defendant's guilt. There's no further need for him to say anything. Well, wait a minute.
Mr. Wright?
I'll tell you what really happened. But I've already told you, Mr. Wright. There's no need for further... I did it. I admit it. I pushed him. It's my fault. My fault to Swallow was dead.
Oh no, what voice did I do for him? That girl. You shouldn't see her anymore.
Hey, it's none of your business.
I'm telling you for your sake, if you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news.
You're lying.
Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl.
Stop it! Don't talk about her like that!
Wow, Phoenix, jeez.
Wham! K.O.
The only thing it's missing is like the electricity running through him, and like you can see his skeleton on the inside, like the.
What you just said. Was that the truth? Was that the truth?
Yes, I was afraid. Afraid that if I told the truth, everyone would think I was the murderer for sure.
Well, as things currently stand, we're all absolutely convinced you are.
Please.
But please give me one more chance to explain. This time I swear I'll tell the whole truth. It'll be okay, won't it, Miss Faye? I believe in you.
Oh, thank you? I still can't believe it. You really did push the victim.
That feels like my hemorrhoids are doing the Harlem Shake.
Oh, too much info.
The Harlem Shake? Are you kidding me?
Do you think they've actually do you think that the localization team kind of added that in the remake?
No, they must have, because
Yeah,
that's
they've
not like a recent reference. That's like a recent phenomenon.
Yeah.
It's definitely not an old thing. It must have been like a really weird line before.
Yeah, I'm like curious now what the original line was.
I was gonna say, now I'm imagining it's like the hemorrhoids thing was new, and it's like it was something like.
No, it was definitely in the original games.
Yeah,
I remember it being there.
Okay.
But I don't remember.
Pete remembers Mr. Grossberg's hemorrhoids very vividly.
Well, because I remember it being like, why the hell does he just keep going on about his hemorrhoids? This is
why
revolting.
does this guy not shut up about his hemorrhoids? What
It's
the hell?
like revolting. But I don't.
See
remember
ya,
anything about the
doctor.
Harlem-
Jesus.
I don't remember anything about the Harlem Shake.
No, me neither.
Okay.
I just know it was like it was a meme at some
Yes.
point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
for
know.
sure.
I'm too old to keep track of memes anymore.
When he pushed the victim.
That guy, he was talking bad about Dolly.
Take that!
Hey, yo!
It's like the sound effect from the home run bat in Smash.
That's a serious push.
See you later, Sam.
I lost my temper and gave him a shove.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shove.
At that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise, and then the smell of flesh
A burning
being
flesh.
burned.
Barbecue.
A little while after I left, sorry, a little while after I left, I started to get worried. You know, I'd seen him convulse wildly and thrash around, but I thought he was just being funny.
I was too scared to touch him, because if I touched him, then I knew that I too would get fried.
I mean, he was
So
smoking and
I went
everything.
Back. So I went back, but he was just lying there, dead. Well, the explanation is really quite simple. When you pushed him, Mr. Swallow flew back and touched the electrical cable. He died from the shock, and that, as they say, is, that.
A simple explanation indeed.
At the time of the incident, a light rain had been falling. Wet from the rain, the victim was more easily electrocuted.
But when I pushed him, there weren't any electrical cables nearby. If there had been something like that, even I would have noticed it. Wow, Phoenix.
That's true. Even a doofus like him couldn't miss that.
That's a weird way to spell doofus, but okay.
Miss Faye, let me warn you right now that if your cross-examination doesn't yield any new facts, I intend to deliver my verdict without further delay. Are we clear on that?
Yes, Your Honor. Don't give up, Mia. If he is innocent, there must be some kind of evidence somewhere that will prove it.
He's got some sort of like Final Fantasy character pout going on, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has.
Yeah, he does.
Like,
It's like,
he does look
Seeing
like
him from the front is weird as well. Like, just seeing like his
Yeah.
whole face from the front. Because you
For
usually
sure.
see it in profile.
Yeah.
Again, he looks like a Final Fantasy protagonist.
Yeah, he does.
Well,
No.
he's-
His outfit doesn't
from the
have
head
enough
up.
zippers for him to be.
He doesn't have enough
He doesn't have enough zippers on his outfit
It's
for him
true.
to be a Final Fantasy protagonist. He's got the red scarf, admittedly, but he doesn't
Yeah.
have enough zippers.
No, true.
Oh, and he should be wearing the mask over his eye, like near, so it's like he looks like he's wearing underwear on his head.
Yeah.
That guy, he was talking about it. I lost my temper, gave him a shove, and at that moment I heard some kind of loud noise. And a little after that, a little after I left, I started to get worried, so I went back, but he was lying there dead. Now, let's have a look at what we got in the evidence. Can I? Yeah, okay.
I imagine now that Phoenix threw him so hard into the building. Just the shove was so mighty that it
broke
forced the
every
electrical
bone in
cables
his
to come
body
off.
first. Then, as if that wasn't insulting enough, he fell forward onto the electrical cable and got electrocuted to death as well. Like, not only was he completely paralyzed, but then he was burnt to a crisp.
Phoenix Wright will appear in the new Mortal Kombat.
I think he's already in Marvel vs. Capcom, as I
Yeah,
remember.
but he's
True.
not. Yeah, but he's not like ripping anyone's head off or anything
No,
like that, though, is
or
he?
pulling their spine out through the neck.
Jesus. Okay, so yeah, so there isn't like an obvious like, oh yes, his death was actually from a bludgeoning. Okay. Unless we can find something that shows his innocence from that testimony, my dear. I'm afraid the judge will make his final decision with no remorse whatsoever.
Yes, sir. Right now I need more info. Info that will help me turn up some contradictions. I guess we press him then.
Okay, let's do it.
So what kinds of... Sorry. So what kinds of things did Mr. Swallow say to you?
He said all sorts of terrible things about Dolly. He said that she was a bad girl.
Dun,
my.
dun.
Like a dog, I guess.
Bad girl!
Is that all?
Yup.
Oh God!
Well, Miss Faye,
Phoenix!
you heard him yourself.
Oh boy, you're not doing yourself any favours here, Mr. Wright. Please don't make this harder for me than it already is.
Anyway, after he said that, I just...
Can you tell me about what happened in a little more detail?
That guy, he just said what he wanted to say to me.
As people naturally do.
And then he put on the jacket he was holding and started to leave. That's when I lost my temper and flew into a furious frenzy.
Just the timing. Just this, like the loud smack, and then he's just down.
I just gave him a light, gentle shove to the chest, but his
Hey.
weak British bones must have just given out under him.
I just love the sound effect. I gave him a light, gentle shove. It's just like Jesus, whip crack.
I mean, the British don't consume any calcium, so I assume his ankles just snapped like twigs.
Just caved in his entire rib cage by just lightly shoving it.
God. And when
Actually
you
made
did
of
that...
jelly. Sorry, Sarah. Go on.
That's okay. Oh dear. And when you did that, there was no severed cable anywhere to be seen?
No, in the flashback video, it looks pretty
Right.
clear.
Right! There was nothing like that at all. But is it possible that you merely overlooked it?
Oh, Phoenix!
I guess it's possible.
Fuck's sake.
What are you
I mean,
doing?
there was this one time I was walking along the street and there was a stop sign, and I just didn't see it, and just bam, I walked straight into it. And that's how my face got like this.
What are you doing? Don't let that guy steamroll over you like cheap asphalt.
Asphalt?
Asphalt.
Asphalt?
Asphalt.
Cheap asphalt?
Asphalt.
Oh, yes. It's,
Oh, yeah.
You leave the asphalt out of it.
Oh, for God's sake.
Like cheap. I mean, the thing of it is, steamrollers go over both expensive and cheap asphalt. So, what is it? It's not like more expensive asphalt is harder to. Never mind. I'm overthinking it. It's just a weird expression.
It is.
I believe what's important here is the moment the push occurred. Let's continue on with the testimony, witness.
A loud noise? And what would you say that loud noise was, Mr. Wright?
I'm not sure, but it was really loud. It was like, snap! You
That
know,
was his ribcage.
Come to think of it, I wonder what that was. That was the ribcage. Yeah. His
Well,
weak,
it was the
his
local
weak
crocodile.
European bones breaking like glass underneath the firm push of an American.
Clearly, Your Honor, it was the sound of the victim being electrocuted.
You're not qualified to decide that.
Hey, who was the one that remembered what evidence was before they came in here today? That's what I thought.
Who actually looked at the court record? Not you!
Who knew how the victim died? Not you.
You never even looked at it once, pal. What should I do? I'm treading on some dangerous ground here.
I mean, probably details.
Mr. Wright, that loud noise you heard may be extremely important. So try to remember what it was.
How do I put it? It was like a sharp crack. Aha! Could it have been?
Yes? Could it have been? Hurry up and tell us!
He stood back on a mousetrap.
Oh.
When I
no.
pushed him, he dropped the umbrella he was holding.
Da-da.
Yeah. Boom! Like a light show.
And then he fell on the umbrella and it severed his spine. Just a point went into his spinal cord.
That's how it broke.
friendly!
And that's how it broke the umbrella.
He fell right on top of it and it broke.
Ow! My spleen!
Clearly, the umbrella wasn't made in America. Because it broke so easily. That was probably the noise I heard.
An umbrella, Did that umbrella belong to the victim?
Yeah, it was a plastic umbrella. Cheap and frail, kind of like the owner.
Oh,
burn!
Phoenix!
Burn!
Phoenix!
Phoenix
This
with
is
the
not
sick
helping
burns.
you at all.
You're just making yourself sound even more guilty, pal.
Then again, I wish I had any kind of umbrella. I was totally soaked to the bone.
Miss Faye, what do you think? Is there something important in that testimony just now?
Is there something important in that testimony just now? I think you mean.
I mean,
was
obviously,
there?
if he was soaked to the bone.
Oh
right,
no, I was getting on.
There's
his
no
grammar.
way.
But if he had an umbrella, he'd be dry, right?
I'd say yeah, of course it's important. But I mean,
Well, this is it, Mia. The new information you've been waiting for. Of course it's important. No, this cheap umbrella is more than important. It's vital.
well, I was thinking actually the fact that Nick was wet, but okay.
I
Yep.
want to officially have it entered into the testimony.
Ha! How perfectly fitting. Flimsy information for a flimsy lawyer.
The court agrees to the defense's request. Witness, please add the bit about the cheap umbrella to your testimony.
I like that they just keep emphasizing that it's a cheap umbrella.
Just in case it wasn't.
After I
obvious
shoved
enough.
him, he fell down on top of his cheap umbrella.
But I mean, oh wait a second. But the thing is, it's like miles away in the picture of
Cold Killer XX.
Sorry, I just had to. I guess. But did he really fall on his umbrella when it's over there?
That's true.
I mean, it got blown away, maybe?
I'm gonna do a safety save.
Safety save.
Yeah, but if he like
Safety save.
if he got electrocuted, then you'd think it'd still be underneath him.
Well, it's possible that the wild spasmings of the body knocked the umbrella away after he got away.
I'm just gonna do the thing and see what happens.
All right, now, guys, if the music stops.
Oh.
Ba-da-ba-da.
Aha!
Why didn't you testify about the umbrella from the very beginning?
Come on. If I had mentioned that.
I would have been able to counter the prosecution's arguments earlier.
Look at that smug face.
Smug.
What do you mean by that?
Take another look at the crime scene photo. According to Mr. Wright, the victim fell on top of his umbrella.
Well, you can clearly see that it's broken.
However, if you look closely, the umbrella is nowhere near the victim.
Oh, shit.
Actually, it's by the electrical pole.
You're absolutely right.
Oh, you can see that, can you, Judge? We
What?
can't
So
see the
what? The
electrical cable.
umbrella is the what electrocuted him?
The conclusion here is obvious. After the defendant left, the victim moved from where he fell. In other words, after he was pushed by the defendant, Mr. Swallow was still alive.
Oh.
No!
Order! The victim, he moved?
His brain sent neural impulses to his muscles, causing him to get off of the
Mr.
ground
Payne,
and then proceed.
The
in a
umbrella
forward
in this
fashion.
photo. Where is it now? Where is it now?
Well, it was collected by the police at the crime scene.
I want it presented as evidence immediately.
That was quick.
Well, I guess, yeah, he got that real quick. Wow.
I got the umbrella right here, pal.
Hey, Gumshoe's not in it yet.
That's true. I like to imagine we're just going to see like a young Gumshoe in here at some point.
But the umbrella could have simply been blown there by the wind.
According to the testimony, the victim fell on top of the umbrella. There's simply no way it could have been blown there by the wind.
If you know anything about being on top of something there, Mr. Payne, you'd
Whoa
know that
now.
whatever's underneath you ain't going anywhere.
Oh, family friendly!
That's very rude.
Well, I mean, you could just, if you lay on top of
Your umbrella.
it, doesn't
Whoa.
go anywhere.
Well,
Just like when you lay on your bed, your covers don't go anywhere if you're
On top of them.
oh boy.
I mean, I gotta thrash around from the night terrors so the covers get scattered everywhere anyway.
No.
I know this matter of the umbrella seems relatively trivial, but as long as the smallest doubt remains, I cannot render final judgment.
No!
That is a nice hairdo.
Wait, no. No.
I just love that his laugh is like, but it's like, just it's like
God.
complete,
That was a beautiful face,
just
darling.
just carnage. Well, fortunately, the listeners can't, like the viewers can't see my face because I wouldn't want them. I wouldn't want them to despair.
see that. That was something else.
No, well, like I say, I wouldn't want to cause such great despair that they never watch this ever again. I mean, we're already going to have like a terrible viewership as it is. Like, the numbers are going to
Remember,
be so
everyone,
poor.
to like, share, and subscribe for more self-deprecation.
Smash that like button.
We've not even got to the end yet.
I must say, I still find it hard to believe that a huge hole has been blown in the prosecution's case by the defendant's testimony.
Oh yeah.
I suppose it's a good thing that this is, a prequel, because this happens multiple times later on in the series.
Oh, well done, Miller.
Oh no.
He's got you're missing the high bit. He's got to come back with gusto.
There we go.
Mr. Payne, what are you chuckling like a little girl about?
Pardon me, Your Honor. It seems I was expecting too much of a free ride.
Whoa.
It was foolish to think I could establish guilt through cross-examination alone.
I'm afraid I don't follow what you're saying.
Huh? Let me guess. You have another witness.
Exactly. And this witness is and again, still spelled wrong, and it's still gonna bother me till the day I die. Exactly. And this witness's testimony will be incontrovertible.
Well, who is this witness?
Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
Dun 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 dun.
Dahlia Hawthorne? You don't mean Dolly.
I do, Your Honor. The defendant's very own lover is a witness to the whole thing.
Lover.
Lover.
That's right. She was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place.
What?
I'm sorry to break the bad news to you, my dear.
Oh my, the hair flip.
Bad news. You couldn't be more wrong.
Smug.
Actually, I've been waiting for this.
You can't be serious.
Mayor, what do you mean by that?
I think this is a good... It's a wrong voice.
What voice was that?
It's kind of like, I think this is a good point for us to stop.
You know, the problem is I can only do the judge voice for so long, and then it starts to turn into this.
That was beautiful.
I just gotta go back to the sleazeball at all possible moments.
I think this is a good point for us to stop at. Court will now enter a 20-minute recess.
And it's the quickest recess you've ever seen.
Afterwards, we will listen to the testimony of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne, if it's the last thing I do. But we know it won't be, because there's another 2 games that come after this. But before it, but after.
No, it's like you fail this first case, and then it goes back and actually deletes your previous save file.
Oh God!
Oh,
no.
God.
Cause an enormous time paradox.
Oh, jeez.
Snake, you created a time paradox.
Time paradox.
Miss Faye, I'm sorry about what happened back there.
It's all right. At least you told us the truth in the end, Mr. Wright.
Yeah. So, I guess I can start to relax then, huh?
Oh, relax, my boy. You can't be serious after hiding such important facts.
But the next witness is my Dolly, right? She'll save me. I just know she will.
His body pillow.
As it turns out, she would not.
Why would you think that?
Huh? What do you mean? She's the love of my life, that's why.
This feels like another Larry Butts situation.
Yeah, it really does.
Oh dear.
The love of your life, huh? Would you mind telling me more about you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne?
Now, let's see, guys. How many 22-year-olds do you know of that, yeah, never mind.
I have a feeling this isn't going to end well. Again, she's never mentioned again before this, which is technically after this.
It's so confusing.
Sure, no problem. Dolly and I, we first met about 8 months ago, right here in this very courthouse.
Okay.
Phoenix is on trial for a separate issue. And, why does she have an umbrella open indoors?
It's a parasol.
In a
isn't it?
courthouse.
It's a parasol. It's not an umbrella.
But parasols are to keep the sun. Is she like so pale that she just sunburns when light comes through windows?
Because I mean, yeah, if the light, if a light bulb shines on her it might cause her skin to flake.
Oh, God.
So anyway,
Actually, I'm starting to be a lawyer on the side. Anyway, one day, she and I just bumped into each other in the reading room downstairs. That's why I really think it was fate that brought us together. As soon as I first set eyes on her, I knew she was the one for me. This can only end well. Oh, here! Take a look at this! It's a Final Fantasy crystal I have. She gave this to me the day we met as a symbol of our love. The day you...
symbol
Wow, that was
of
quick.
our love.
She... this... Oh, dearie me. She had been wearing it around her neck that day, but then... she took it off, but before she gave it to me, she said, I want you to carry this.
So she gave it to you as a present? No one ever gives me presents. I see.
This darling little... That's a bottle?
Well, it does look bottle shaped, I guess.
This darling little bottle is filled with memories of my darling little dolly.
Oh, dear.
This is gross, Phoenix. This is gross right now. This is just gross.
Like, Taylor is just turning inside out reading this.
I am physically turning inside out.
But I mean, look at his sweater. I mean, he's clearly in love
Well, yeah, I
with
guess.
something.
Himself.
Either himself or his PP.
Ew.
His pee. He's in love with his big P.
Whoa.
Whoa now.
Whoa, Belle. It certainly is
So
a
it's
little
just Mia.
bottle, all right.
It's like, wow, I really love this thing. Yep, that's a thing
That's
that you
a
have
thing.
in your
Yep.
possession. It makes me so happy. I show it to everyone I meet.
That's illegal.
Oh God. You're derailing the whole thing again.
I want to share my happiness with the whole world.
Dahlia's present borrowed from Phoenix Wright.
Anyway. So after that, you and Miss Hawthorne started dating?
Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. I don't know who you are. Please give it back now.
Oh, what a strange girl. Asking for a present back like that.
By the way, Mr. Wright, the day you first met Dahlia Hawthorne... sorry, let's try that again. The day you first met Dahlia Hawthorne, 8 months ago? It wouldn't happen to have been on August 27th, would it?
Huh? Yeah, it was, but how did you...
This happened on August 27th, right here in this courthouse.
What's this? A newspaper clipping? Let's see. Murder in the courthouse? Murder?
What are you reading there? Let me see that. Oh, I see. Mayor, I think I understand what you're trying to say. And I think I understand why you suddenly took such a keen interest in this case. You believe there is some connection between these two cases. Am I correct?
I understand why you were so interested in this case and this newspaper clipping. They are related somehow. Yes,
Could it
that's why I
possibly
did. What? What?
Could it possibly
a
be
strange
another
turn of events.
DLC? Could it possibly be another DL6? Or perhaps it's the SL9?
Oh no, not more! No!
Perhaps
Oh,
this
we're
is the
getting back into letters.
DNB3.
This will be XJ7 or something.
Yes.
No, it's not. It's not a teenage robot case.
That's XJ9. Get
Oh.
more straight.
I hope you don't mind, Mr. Grossberg. I need to finish this myself.
Oh, yes, but my hemorrhoids. I'm afraid what you have will not be enough. Medea. I hate the Medea. Like,
Medea.
for fuck's sake.
Milady.
Oh, yes, but I'm afraid that what you have will not be enough, my dear. I'll go and have a look in the downstairs reading room and see what else I can find.
Thank you.
I want to do whatever I can to be of help to you, Mia.
Up to and including saying that your defendant is guilty on the stand in front of the judge. Being completely convinced that you are wasting your time. Also, I'm just trying to establish like the timeline here. So she comes up to Phoenix. He's never met her before. She's like, "Here, take this." And he puts it around his neck. And then every time they meet thereafter, she asks for it back.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah, that's right.
That's pretty much it, yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yep. Phoenix is literally as dumb as a coffee cup.
And he just thinks that she's madly in love with him.
The entire time that he thought that they've been dating, but it's basically she's just desperately trying to get back a family heirloom, and they just keep going out to places.
Yes.
And she keeps trying to get it back, but he's like, "Oh, you're so silly."
Yeah.
Oh, I love
Her
you,
family
Dolly.
heirloom. Well, it looks like recess is about over. We'd better all get moving. The fastest 20 minutes in the world.
Yep.
It's almost been 20 minutes of us goofing.
I guess so. That recess sure seemed longer than 20 minutes, though. Really? Did it? Really? It seemed like 2 seconds. To
Oh
be
my.
continued.
And so, with that, what's the deal with Dahlia Hawthorne? Who knows? What's the deal with Phoenix, who thinks that she's madly in love with him? Who knows? What is this tiny weeny little bottle with a little border thing in the shape of a heart? Who knows? Is this going to have any kind of repercussion? Who knows? Is this going to come back up in a future case? Never. That never ever happens in Phoenix Wright. Ever.
Ever.
There's no way that there could be any possible link back to this.
No, not at all.
No chance whatsoever. And so with that, we're going to leave it here for this week, and we'll catch up next week. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed our stupidity, and we'll see you next week. So hello, is anybody there?
Ta-ta.
Ta-ta for now.
Oh, there they are. I thought they'd all gone. I thought I was on my own.
Bye-bye.
We just left Pete alone. Bye-bye, everyone.
Guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care.